Hey, all you real estate professionals, how are you? My name is Danny Morel. So excited that you decided to spend some time with me for the next couple of minutes talking about this amazing, you heard it right, amazing real estate market. You know, as I'm out there talking to real estate professionals, there's very clearly two groups of people out there. And before I tell you what those groups of people are, I want to go back to the years 1995 to 2005, where there was three groups of people. The first group was the top 10%. And the top 10% were basically the ones doing 60, 70, 100, 200 transactions on a yearly basis, okay? Number two, you had the middle group, and that basically represented right about 70% of the real estate population. People that were going out there and were doing pretty well, earning six figures just with having to sell maybe 10, 15, 20 homes a year. And then number three, if you remember correctly, there was a small group of about 20% of the individuals out there that were really struggling even in a very, very good market. Fast forward to today, guys, you know what's happened? It's very simple. There are only two groups out there today, and I like to call them the haves and the have-nots. It's a major difference between the people that are saying the market is phenomenal and the folks that are saying, oh my gosh, this market is terrible. So what's the difference? Well, first things first, we got to start with our thinking, right? I'll tell you something. Right now in the U.S., there are over 5 million sales going on, okay? 5 million sales. At the peak of the market, at the highest that it got, it was just over 6.5 million sales. So had there taken a dip? Absolutely, but there's still a lot of transactions out there, okay? So if you're a real estate professional, then what is it that you've got to do to be a part of those sales? Well, what I would like you to do is, and I want you to think about this, is I want you to find your niche. And let me explain to you what I mean by that. In the years 2000 through 2006, 80% of my business came from listings sold. I'm going to tell you kind of what's going on with me personally right now. In November of 2010, I made a decision that I needed to find my niche, okay? Even though I have tremendous experience with listings, I decided that for me, I wanted to spend 6 months really focusing on one of these niches, and I wanted to tell you what those are, okay? So first things first, you have REO accounts. You have agents out there with an REO presence. And we all know that those are people that have connections with the bank and are getting REO assets from the asset managers, okay? So that's a niche, and if you're doing that, God bless you, that's a great niche to have. Number two, there's short sales. As a matter of fact, before, we used to call them listings. Right now, just call them short sales. Everything is a short sale right now, right? Pretty much. So you could be an agent that is focusing on getting short sale listings in today's market. That could be a niche for you. Number three is buyers. And you could say to yourself, man, well, there's so much inventory out there. Why don't I go out and work with buyers right now? And that could be your niche. And number four, there's investors, and they represent a large amount of the transactions going on today. Cash buyers that are looking to buy properties, looking to flip them. As a matter of fact, if you can get into that niche, sometimes that can be the equivalent of 3 commission checks for you. And if you want information on how to do that, let me know. I'll be more than happy to teach you how to do that. Okay? So why do I say you need a niche? Because remember, guys, right now is the time to focus in an area and capitalize in that area. Put your time and resources in one, maybe at the most 2 areas. What did I decide to do? I'll tell you. It's funny because so many of us call buyers liars, right? Buyers are liars. Well, one of the things that I saw was that buyers were a pretty quick way to boost business immediately. So within 6 months, I was able to represent 22 buyer transactions. And this is just as I was getting my feet wet and getting my momentum going. Be honest with you, I think the market is phenomenal. Why? I just focused on a niche, right? Doesn't matter, guys. Don't get hung up on, well, I have to do this kind of sales or I have to do that kind of sales. The focus right now and for the next 3 years is make sales. Why? Because we should be reserving our cash, saving our money to get ready to do what? I'll tell you what. When this market rebounds, again, you want to be the brand name of choice. You want to be the person that is recognized in your community, and you want to be the individual that people trust and go to when the market starts turning around a little bit higher. And then you can diversify yourself a little bit more. Or even better, you'll have the resources to maybe go after and properly market yourself after short sale listings and so forth and so on. So remember for a second, just a quick little recap. If you're out there and you're having a hard time and you're watching this video, first things first, I'm here to help you in any way I possibly can. Contact me. Look me up on Facebook. call the number that's at the bottom of your screen, and let's just sit down and let's talk for a second. But if you're out there and you're struggling out right now, remember that there is hope and there are sales being made. That's the reality, whether your mind chooses to allow you to accept that or not. And there are 4 types of sales going on right now. The first is your REOs. The second is your short sales. The third are buyers. And the fourth are investors. Choose your niche. Focus your time, energy, and efforts into one, maybe 2 at the most, and you'll see what will happen to your business in the next 90 days.